Hi, everybody. Sorry it took so long for me to speak up. I was eating a sandwich and I had my mouth full. I didn't actually change the text on the screen, so now we don't know what's going on. There you go. Look, cool issue that I'm having, right, is today's Thursday, first of all. Today is Thursday, which is live stream day. So, the only day of the week where I mandate myself to do a live stream is this day. And so I've been sitting here mulling over different ideas because I seem to have this habit where I got distracted. Sorry, guys. Oh. Okay, anyway, what was I saying? Right, so I had to do a live stream, and I've been sitting here looking at different ideas for live stream ideas, and just nothing is, like, catching me. And we've been mainlining Umihara Kawase for, like, I want to say 2 weeks. It's just been Umihara Kawase, because I just think that game is so awesome. But I don't know if I showed this on stream yet. I probably did. But I mean, I'll put it on the screen again. Ooh. One moment, I'll find it. Also, sorry for not muting my sneeze. I'm not really on top of it today. So... This. Which means that the game is done now. I basically did everything I wanted to do in the game. I mean, technically I could still do the different survival challenges, like the different endings that you can see on the screen right now. There's like 4 more endings I could get. Or like routes. But I don't really enjoy the survival challenge that much. Like, not as much as I enjoy, like, just trying to solve individual levels. Not really that interested in the entire gauntlet, so... I mean, maybe one day I'll come back. But I'm pretty sure that my audience is pretty sick of Umihara Kawase right now. Which I can't imagine, because we've been playing nothing but that. And it's also not a, like, famous or popular game, I guess. There you go, now it's in the right layer. I could honestly watch this on loop forever. I'm so happy I beat that level. So, originally today, my idea was to check out a mod for Bad Piggies, and then I realized that I didn't feel like playing Bad Piggies. So I was like, what if we revisit the idea of... what if we revisit playing Metal Slug 3 without dying? And so I was like, you know what, I want to have a proper Neo Geo emulator, like with save states and stuff, so I can so I can like more easily restart my runs, etc., etc. And I played like 1 or 2 runs of it, and then realized that I really didn't feel like doing that either today. It's just it's so hot lately, and I just don't have the energy to do much of anything, at least not during the day. I mean, I can point the fan at it, so I hope it's not too noisy. Is that bad? I hope that's okay. It does help me cool down a bit. So yeah, thoughts? Prayers? Not really seeing a whole lot of people showing up yet. We could play Mario too. That Minecraft SMP kinda didn't perform how the person wanted, so I think I'm gonna hold off from streaming any Minecraft until the return. No fucking way, wait a minute. I'm looking at my my activity. Bobby Zeal, the guy who plays the Lemmings, follows me now. And oh, that's not supposed to be on the screen, but whatever. And also the top runner. The top runner of like every single category of Mr. Gimmick follows me now, I guess. I don't know if she holds more records. Mostly seen her play Gimmick, but clearly she plays other games. Such as Mario 64. Something really annoying. So yesterday I had a job interview, and whenever I do job interviews, what I tend to do is I put my hair in a bun, because I have long hair, and you know, within the workspace, I feel like a man bun is way more accepted than just having long hair. So I was like, okay, I'll do a man bun. But I have curly hair, right? And when it comes to curly hair, the magic of curly hair is that like the way that it dries is the way that it will be, you know? So because I dried it in a bun, I have this like really weird like wave in the back that just like won't sit flat because it dried up in like not only that, but my bangs are just like permanently swept backwards, and if I try to put them in any other position, they just fucking they just want to flop up again. It's really weird. I don't like it. I've honestly been contemplating just like making my hair wet and then waiting for it to dry again. But, effort. Ugh. game to go viral.
Oh, that's sick. But why not eat?
Why not eat?
Oh, they should actually add that. What? Is that an Enderman?
Is that an Enderman? Bleh. I'm so tired. What do we do today? Hi, sorry, I got distracted. Again. This is awesome. I love this stream. Yippee! I could maybe react to things. Just pull an SS Sniper Wolf, bring up the TikTok feed, and just start having dog shit reactions to all of them. That sounds like a horrible time. That sounds like not fun at all. God. Fuck. Fuck. I really have very little to say besides it's very hot out. I don't really want to do anything. And nobody's watching the stream today. Either, so. At very worst, I'm literally just gonna sit here for an hour. I may literally just sit here for an hour. And then I can say that I have streamed and I did my duty of streaming. And it will have been a dog shit stream. And it won't have mattered because I did it anyway, you know? It's the stream day. I have to stream today. Because it's Thursday, and I do that. I don't know if this is like a normal thing for creators to do, but I just have Thursdays. Like, I can stream whenever I want, but Thursdays are the live stream day. Then on Thursdays, I have to stream. If it's before dinner, after dinner, usually I try to aim for around either 1 p.m., 3 p.m., or after dinner, which is typically after 7. Because after dinner, honestly, after dinner streams tend to do the best because why? After dinner streams tend to do the best because then the Americans are awake and the American time zone, because I stream in English, right? So and the majority of English speaking people are Americans. I mean, perhaps if you add up all the British and New Zealanders and Australians, Maybe you'd get a comparable number. I don't really know. But as far as I am aware, the largest amount of English-speaking people are the Americans. So because I speak English in my streams, the maximum, like the amount of addressable audience, or like the number of addressable audience, the size of the addressable audience becomes larger the more American people are awake. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. And it's like, I don't really know, like, what time is it in New York right now? Let me look at the world clock real quick. So let me put on some music, because at least you can listen to music, right? Even if I am being boring. Let's do the, what is that game called? Gimmick OST. I'm very gimmick pilled lately. It's I just typed in gimmick. Gimmick. That's a bit loud. So what was I saying again? You know, I could play Gimmick. But the thing is, I've been doing nothing but watching Gimmick speedruns and watching Greyfruit play Gimmick and etc, etc. Like, I've seen it, I think, at this point. By the way, I've probably mentioned this a few times, but I have a YouTube video. Sorry, I'm looking at my finished videos playlist right now on the on my computer, and there's a YouTube video that I have made that is so close to finished. It's not even funny, and I have just been leaving it there for months, and partially because of well, there's this weird issue that I have, right, where on one hand, I find the femboy angle very funny. You know, it's the one where I run across Hyrule. It's the like edit from that live stream. And on one hand, I find the femboy angle really funny. On the other hand, having a main YouTube video where I dress up like that, it makes me feel awkward. Because this YouTube channel that I have is more than 10 years old at this point. And people that I know from real life, like middle school teachers, my parents, my family, they all know my channel exists, and they know my channel, and they watch my channel. I'm not some anonymous creator in any way. Like, what I put on my channel will come to, you know, I don't think my school teachers are like actively checking out my People Playgrounds videos or whatever, but I do know that my mom has like commented on like weird stuff. Things like, at some point I had a video and I put the kid in it, you know, I had to do it to him kid. And she was like, "Who is that? Are you just putting images of like your friends in your videos?" And I was like, "No, that's a meme." But stuff like that. So I'd be a lot more comfortable, like cross-dressing or like otherwise wearing costumes and being weird if I wasn't so hyper aware of how this reflects on me in the real world, I suppose, or how this could affect me in the real world, you know? I know for a fact that, for example, My mom is by no means a fan, you know, of this sorts of stuff. And I do still live with my parents. So, it's... Maybe it's bad, but I try to eliminate as much friction with my family as possible. As long as I do still live here. You know? So because of that, I'm like, maybe don't upload that then. With TikTok, it's different, because with TikTok, you know, that is a way newer account. I don't think people who watch... I don't think I know very many people who actually have TikTok. Not even my sisters have TikTok. It's very much... What is TikTok? TikTok is like Facebook. Is this social media platform that you think nobody uses but is somehow still huge? That's what TikTok is like. Like, if you're older than 10, you probably don't have TikTok. Or... Because another thing about TikTok that I find very odd is its incentives, right? It's, when TikTok was still very new, explosive growth was very, like, reachable, because the niches in the platform hadn't been filled up yet. So people were experiencing like, whoa, I just got like massive on TikTok. And even I have had a similar experience where one of my videos does disproportionately well compared to everything else that I've ever made. Like, there's one TikTok video that has more views than my most viewed YouTube video, I'm pretty sure. Although, my most viewed YouTube video might have at this point passed it. I'm not really exactly sure. Point is, the incentive structure, because, you know, when you have YouTube, you can sell... Or, well, you don't have to sell things. You get ads, right? On YouTube, you get ad revenue. On TikTok, in a lot of regions, it's impossible to get, like, ads. And even if you do, apparently it shifts your placement in the algorithm in a way that, like, ruins your engagement. So you have to make this weird choice between getting absolutely no views, but yes, money, a little bit, or getting no money, but yes, views. What would you rather have? Money, unlimited money, but no money? Or views, unlimited views, and no money? That's what TikTok is like. And it's like, yeah, I suppose if you are just doing it to farm engagement, right? Because when it comes to social media, when you are a person who is on social media, who does social media stuff, right? And you do it for the attention. And maybe it's cynical of me to assume that people all do it for the money. I'm sure there's people that literally just upload videos because they want to share what they made. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about people that like actually want to make social media like a source of revenue in their life. I feel like TikTok is a terrible solution for that issue. Unless you are using it for marketing, which you also see a lot, like dropshippers and such. They make very efficient use of TikTok because when it comes to TikTok, basically every video you see is an advertisement. Be that for someone's OnlyFans, be that for somebody's product that they're selling, or be that for like a car, I don't know. But most TikToks in my... And even if they're not selling you something directly, they are an advertisement for their own channel. In essence, you know. So we are constantly in the attention-seeking Olympics when it comes to social media. And I find the incentive of distracting you as hard as possible so that I can make money, you know. I don't know, it's essentially rent-seeking behavior. It is, you make money with absolutely no benefit to society. You know? not that entertainment is not a benefit to society, but I feel like a lot of people who care about, you know, being entertained proper will tell you that, you know, TikTok is not wholesome. It doesn't, like, watching TikTok for a long time doesn't make you feel, you know what, I really have something that I will remember now. No, it's, people say they watch TikTok for an hour and they don't remember a single video. And that is my experience as well. And same for YouTube Shorts, and same for Instagram Reels. Honestly, this is all quite universal, what I'm talking about here. Another thing I find strange is that people tell me, and I modified my YouTube app so I don't get shorts on there anymore, so I haven't even seen a short in ages. But people tell me that it's uncool to watch YouTube Shorts, but that Instagram Reels are cool. And I'm like, it's the same shit. You're watching the same it's the same thing. What are you fucking talking about? Why is it uncool to watch YouTube Shorts, but cool to watch Instagram Reels? Are you mad? Are you crazy? Another thing about Instagram, and maybe this is a Matthew specific issue, but it feels like everything on Instagram is just softcore Zorn. Like, the only things I follow are a handful of fashion brands and some friends. Or like, no, that's it. I follow a handful of fashion brands and I follow some friends that I have. Why am I getting recommended so much cosplay porn? It's not normal. No, stop doing this. I do not want to see that. I want to see cool outfits, and I want to see what my friends are up to. That's what I want from Instagram. I don't want to see the gallons of not quite Zorn. Another thing about that, why do social platforms not just allow Zorn? Well, I know why, because their payment processors and advertisers would back out. Why would they back out? I don't know. Christian values, probably. That's the thing with how, you know, social media in a lot of ways is dominated by tech in general is dominated by a lot of American companies, and America is very, I believe since the 80s, very on their America is Christian, and therefore we need to be afraid of sex type of energy. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. And so you get like these fucking large American companies like Visa and MasterCard and stuff going like, you need to remove all your porn because otherwise we're gonna stop processing your payments. You know, shit that, you know, should not be in their power to do, but it is because they are the payment processor. They can just bully everybody into doing what they want because otherwise people can't pay them anymore. And well, what are you gonna do then? Rent-seeking behavior. Blech. Then again, you know, people tell me I'm very cynical. And maybe I am. But I feel like because I spend so much time thinking about, like, social media and social media ecosystems and, like, how attention and advertisement and stuff works. How movies are made for demographics. For example, the Sonic movies. I have a really hard time enjoying them even though they're fun movies. Because I'm constantly thinking about how they are... I just imagine some guy in a lab going like, yes, we will now make Sonic do the floss. Our audience of 10-year-olds will love this. Yes, the hardcore Sonic fans will definitely love Doomed Yaoi. You know, point is, I don't know. It just feels like, look, thing you know, and that's fine. You know, especially for a movie featuring popular property. But the whole fact that they're making a movie featuring popular property is already because popular property is popular. They didn't set out to make a good movie. They set out to make a Sonic movie, first and foremost. And then, after that, the secondary objective was to make a good movie. Although, before all that, the main objective was to just make a load of money. And, you know, that also perverts the artistic vision. You know, because now you have to deal with the opinions of random investors, and you have to deal with, you know, you have to deal with like making the movie safe and like I feel like making a movie in today's climate is probably like an extremely difficult task. Not to mention, you know, the writers' strikes because they're constantly being threatened by being replaced by AI. An AI that was trained on their own ass work. Yeah, so you will now use an AI to spy on you so that it can train itself to do your job instead of you. Ah, yes. I agree with this, thank you. I feel like that's quite unfair. Like, I feel like when it comes to AI, I lay in the gray area of... I don't know, I feel like there's some good to be used, to be got out of it, but the problem is that it is a... the problem is the politics behind it, you see? Where the reason that this technology is pushed so hard is because companies think that they can make even more money. But then again, I feel like it's also kind of like fighting against the Industrial Revolution, where it's like, you know, machines are taking our jobs. Yeah, I guess. Oops. Oopsie. But that turned out fine. You know, after we figured out mechanical looms, I'm sure that a bunch of, like, weavers, or whatever that word is, went out of business. Sure, but then other jobs became available. I feel like it's always such a weird, what do you say, job availability as a thing to worry about. I find that very strange. Because on one hand, we want to make our lives much easier, simplify production processes, you know. People don't want to have to do a lot of work, I don't think. You know, it's like, and once again, this comes down to the incentive structure of money. You don't want to you don't want to work, you want to have money. You get money through working. And so now you want to work because money, right? And what I'm thinking is, imagine this situation. You are in charge. Oh, I love this song. You are in charge of moving a pile of boxes from one side of the room to the other side of the room. And I say, hey, I'll do it for you, so you can relax. And you go, you're taking my job! Yeah, that's weird. But now introduce the concept of the person who moves the boxes gets paid for it. Now you want to be the person who moves the boxes, not me, because otherwise you don't get paid. But I think, you know, and you know, I think this is a very obvious thing, but it does play into the incentive structures of payment in general, you know, where it's like, we're not optimizing at that point for the betterment of things. We're just optimizing for individual money making, you know, because everybody needs to have a job, apparently, because you need to have a job to make money, so we need to invent more jobs, I guess, so that everybody can have one. I think that is a very odd thing to do. If, you know, but yeah, I mean, you're not gonna get paid for doing nothing. You can raise taxes, but like people don't like that either. You know? So what do you do? What do you do? And you know, if fucking what? If you remove like the concept of a wage, you're gonna be called a communist. And then it also brings up a lot of other moral questions, like why would I do any work if I don't get paid for it? You know? And I am not smart enough to know any of these things. I'm not a politician, and I don't really care. Like, it's not my field of expertise. My field of expertise is like video games and shit. I love game design, but I think like incentives also play into game design a lot, and I don't really know how I got on this like ramble to begin with. I was talking about how TikTok creates perverse incentives, or how TikTok and other short-form media really exposes to me these perverse incentives of media creation, you know? I feel like when YouTube was still a lot newer, people would often feel ashamed to ask, or even to ask people if they wanted to subscribe, you know? Because it felt like selling out, and then the first time somebody like collaborated with a company, I feel like that was like, you can't do that, you're a phony, you're selling out. And now it's like the default. And, you know, all the better, you know, for the creators, because I think that creators do deserve to be paid for their work. It's just that right now, just like, what? Right now, the way that social media is that you get paid because, and the main way you get paid is advertisers, and the way that advertisers pay you is that the longer somebody looks at an ad, or the longer your audience has been looking at this ad, the better, right? So you basically get paid to, you know, waste as much of people's time as possible. It doesn't matter if your art is good. It doesn't matter if your art is satisfying. It matters that, or like art, your video, your content, whatever, is satisfying. It matters that it takes up as much of a person's time as possible. And clearly TikTok is very good at this, where, you know, all these people that I know have been saying shit like that they watched it for an hour and then didn't remember at all. I don't remember what I did anymore because I have Indonesia. I don't remember what I did anymore because I have Indonesia. Isn't that kind of dystopian? The machine where if you look at it, it gives you Indonesia, and then you can't remember what you did anymore, and it extracts revenue out of that somehow. Like the Matrix, but like shitty. Yeah. It really makes you wonder. Anyway, I feel like this was too opinionated. If Carter, I mean, sorry, if Plushies was here, he would have told me to shut the fuck up. Matt, stop complaining. We need to keep the positive vibes. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've been thinking about, or like I think about this sort of social media thing a lot, I suppose. You know? Or the way that media works in general. I mean, I am, after all, a content creator. This is kind of the thing that I do. No way. Content creator cares about creating media and how it spreads throughout the world and how that affects people and etc. But it makes me kind of hesitant to create in general, and this wraps back to that video that I almost finished and never actually released. I feel very hesitant to to make content at all, because in the back of my mind I feel like I'm not doing it because I want to make the content, but rather that I just want to be paid, or want to waste people's time, or, you know, play into a system that I think is fundamentally kind of cringe. Which is the technical term. How long can I live stream without actually starting the live stream? The longest pre-stream chat ever. I have been yapping at nobody for the last, like, half an hour. Which is kind of impressive if you think about it. I mean, I've done it for longer before, you know, it's really stream of thought type thing. You know? When you play a video game, it's easier though, because you can comment on things that happen in the video game. And we have just been watching the same video clip of the anime girl going up and down 100 times. Honestly, I can put on the 2015... You know what, I'll do that actually, that's funny. Put on the... Again... What is it called? What is it called? Search... Videos... Surf... Surf gameplay. Here, put on the CSGO Surf gameplay. You would not want to know how much I've watched this specific piece of gameplay.
Dude, this guy is fucking cringe. Dude, like, this guy is, like, literally cancer, dude. Like...
You know, Leafy. Oh my god, Leafy. You're so fucking funny. Oh, Leafy. Oh my god, Leafy. You're so fucking funny, Leafy. Oh my god, Leafy. You're so fucking funny. Can you believe I never actually did CSGO Surf? I've done it in Gmod before, but I think that is kind of a dissimilar kind of thing. It's also funny to me that, you know, our favorite Gremlin guy, Leafy, is here. He didn't even play this. This is not even his gameplay. This is just like CSGO Surf gameplay, free to use. I didn't know. I thought he recorded his own. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it is, like, not the exact thing that Leafy used, but it looks so similar. It's on the same map. You know, I've seen this like 100 times. Definitely, like, at least 100 times. It's also interesting now that I think about it, how what do you say? The environment has changed so much. Because, you know, 2015 was an era where it was cool to be edgy. I mean, you'd have to do nothing but to look at it like any YouTube video, or like PewDiePie video, compared to how he is. Well, I was gonna say now, but I'm pretty sure this guy is retired. It's completely fine. I don't know, it does really stand out to me though, that when he moved into the old Club Penguin office, and it was the start of like the chair thing, the gaming chair. I feel like that man like single-handedly popularized gaming chairs. I don't know if that's true, but I never really thought much about gaming chairs until PewDiePie started like really aggressively advertising his chair to people. I also find that interesting now that I think about it, because I was watching Greyfruit, right? And I watch Greyfruit a lot. It's one of my he's one of my favorite streamers. And I was watching Greyfruit, and he mentioned that it was kind of in poor taste that DugDug, you know, the streamer DugDug, another one of my large inspirations, would often do this thing of like, ha ha ha, wouldn't it be so funny if you gave me money? Type thing. And I was like, well, you know, I never really thought about it, but that is true. That is kind of weird that he does that. Or not weird, but like, tasteless, I suppose? Or I don't think tasteless is even the right word. The rice is even the rice word. I don't think tasteless is even the correct word for it. More so, well, this comes back to that sellout element that I feel like used to be much more of a thing, where shamelessness, I suppose. Then again, you know, my mom always says that is like the shameless people rule the world. I suppose that is how you would translate that. Brutale mensen hebben de wereld. Because if you aren't afraid to ask, then people can decide if they want to comply with your demands or with your ask. And if you just like sit there and hope that people do what you want, then you know your rate of success is going to be slightly lower than if you just tell them to do the thing that you want them to do. It's like never asking anybody to hang out and then wondering why you never hang out with people. You know? Why not have a machine shovel rocks into your butt, which is painful and inconvenient, but absolutely necessary? I sit somewhere on that fence too, though. What? This isn't the car! Hermit Purple! Oh my god, I just tried to scratch the crosshair from the video off of my screen, because I thought it was a piece of trash that I put on the screen by accident. Or like that like, you know, like a little piece of dust or something. But no, it's the crosshair from the video. Where it's like, you know, actually, to pivot, my friend Mushy Polter, you know Mushy Polter. If you know my channel, you probably know Mushy Polter, because we have like similar audiences, I'm pretty sure. So I like to think that his audience is a little younger than mine. Like, I've been in his Discord server. What was I saying again? Oh yeah, something that I admire Mushy Polter for. My boy Ryder Economics, lol. Is that he makes videos and doesn't think about it too hard. I feel like my specific blend of neurodivergencies is a bit unfortunate when it comes to trying to be a content creator, because I am extremely perfectionistic and... What the fuck is he doing? Sorry, I'm watching this gameplay and he's like going backwards and shit. I think he's bored. I think the guy from the video is bored. But what I was saying is I'm extremely perfectionist. I always want to... I'm very novelty seeking also. So is this issue where every single time I want to start a project, I have to come up with something completely different. And I feel like Polter does a lot better of a job of just making a video and then making another video. But I think we just have like different brains. Also, not to discredit his success, I just think it's very impressive that he can like, well, more or less brute force the process, because I feel like my process personally is extremely exhausting, and I tend to not get like results that match the amount of energy that I put into it. Not to complain, of course. I'm very glad that I get, the audience that I get. It's just that I don't know. Sometimes I'll spend like 3 days editing a video, only for it to get like 100 views. And I think to myself, like, what did I do all that effort for? And then sometimes I'll make a video in an afternoon, and it'll get like 1,000. And I'll go like, what? I don't deserve this. And I feel like also, number go up doesn't motivate me nearly as much as it does some other people. Which is probably not great if you want to be a YouTuber, right? Because I've noticed that every time I do achieve a success, for example, that one slightly viral TikTok that I did where I described the Half-Life speedrun technique while wearing a dress. To put it bluntly. That video did really well, and I got a lot of compliments on my outfit, and I got a lot of... Actually, nobody talked about Half-Life. All the audience was just like, oh, nice outfit. Actually, there were some people that were like, oh, that's a really useful trick, I'll use that actually. So never mind, I'm lying. But like most of the comments were just like, that's a really nice outfit. And honestly, I knew that. The video existed as a excuse to show off the outfit without me feeling like I was doing it just to show off the outfit. Because I was like, that is not really content, right? I mean, I see plenty of accounts that literally just have a music and then POV, you are stupid, and then it's like this, and then like the image, and it's like POV, my cock is huge, and then it's like femboy outfit. I don't know, something like that. And they just like misuse the word POV, and it's like that, and they get like 1 million views. Oh my god, I have to sleep. That was the, like, weirdest thing ever. I don't think I've ever had, like, a sneeze get stuck halfway through. Ah, that wasn't nice. Anyway, what was I saying? Me when I'm a 15-year-old girl and I'm playbacking to some song that I know from TikTok. I find that very strange as well, where people, recognize things from TikTok. Where it's not that song is from blank, that song is made by this band, or that I know this song because my friend introduced me to it. No, it's... Oh, isn't that the TikTok song? Sheesh. Though I feel like I have heard a lot less of that recently. I think people realize that things on TikTok don't ever come from TikTok. Like, TikTok doesn't make anything by itself. Not that there aren't songs that, like, are expressly posted on TikTok first as, like, its marketing tool, but then it's still not made by TikTok. TikTok is just a distribution platform. Speaking of distribution platforms that I have thoughts on, Roblox. You guys know this game? It's this stupid, like, Minecraft-ish clone type thing. No, it's not. Just kidding. As we all know, Roblox is a games platform and game engine combined, which is very interesting to me because it gives young people, a lot of young people, the tools to, like, really work, or, like, really... How do you say? try out, I suppose, making video games. Not only that, but they can also try out something that is much more difficult than making video games for a lot of game developers, which is having an audience at all. I feel like having practice with people being able to engage with your media is very interesting to present young people with. It's similar to Scratch, you know? I was always very confused why the younger generation of programmers at my nerd club always seem to be so stuck on Scratch. And I realized that it is because Scratch is not only a games engine, it's not only a programming engine, it's also a distribution platform. And it has a community, and it has a rating system. It's basically like Roblox. It has, you make something and you get feedback, you modify other people's projects, and it's a whole good time. I never realized that. I always thought it was just like, are you just that afraid of like letters? Are you that afraid of like looking at letters and having to do the syntax? No, it's just because, you know, the form of it is really engaging, and I think Roblox really has this as well. I feel like Roblox, however, is like doing its absolute best to kill its own audience. I don't think, like, since I started like being on Roblox at any capacity, which that is still not very much. I made one experience, and I have volunteered to work on a friend's. Although, yeah, no thoughts about that right now. Anyway, point is, Roblox has introduced this stupid ass like age verification system that nobody likes. They have removed classic faces. They are, you know, it's just not good. I believe they were talking about how they are making, like, purposefully making pro-pedophile moves because, I don't know, adults pay better, I suppose. Or how they, oh, the stupid fucking, you can only talk to people with similar ages thing, where now you can't moderate people older or younger than you. Very awesome, guys. You cannot moderate your own experiences properly anymore. Yippee! Hey, he did it. The guy in the video finally went to the end. Like Minecraft. And also, I believe, currently to like update or edit your experiences, you also have to verify your age, which is absolutely awful. You might not realize why age verification is a bad thing. And, you know, on the surface it's not, you know, it's like we want to make sure that you are actually an adult, or we want to make sure. But the reason that they're doing all this age verification is not for this reason. It's never for the kids. If they say it's for the kids, kids don't vote, you know? They don't get the vote. It's never for the kids. Then what is it for? It is because, like, there are so many, like, fake accounts and bots and robots and like, everything on the internet right now, that advertisers want to make sure that they are advertising to real human people. That's what it's all about. They want to know that your account is a valid real human, and the age verification stuff is just to gatekeep their more juicy features, or, you know, lock. It's similar to the fucking you have to have an iPhone or your text won't be blue type shit. Where it's like, we are going to give you an incomplete experience unless you do this. It's basically they hold part of their own service hostage, just so that you are, like, pressured into complying with their demands, which is absolutely disgusting. But it's for that reason. Not only that, but your biometric data is definitely being sold and used everywhere. I don't fucking know what they do that with. I also always thought this about, like, fingerprint sensors on phones and, like, Face ID is also like, oh yeah, cool, they're gonna take my ass fucking biometric data. Oh yes, I definitely trust these multi-million dollar companies with my biometric data. Let me upload my genome while I'm at it. No! Are you insane? Are you crazy? I mean, I already don't like giving my ID to, like, places to verify that I'm real. I remember I went to the bank at some point, and they needed to take my ID, and they put it in, like, a big machine, and I was like, that's fucking scary. And there's laws about, like, retaining information, that, like, unless you get audited about it, who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? You don't have to show them. You can, 1, just lie, 2, hide it. You know? And even if they do delete it, you know, do you really think companies like Google don't know how to recover deleted files? Like, these motherfuckers have a million lawyers. And even if they do break the law, they can just bail. They can just bail out whoever the responsibility falls on, or let them take the blame and just put them in jail, and then the rest of the company still continues. Or, you know, lawyer the shit out of them, and then have them be free anyway, even though they committed a crime. Am I accusing large companies of being corrupt and evil? Maybe a little bit. Definitely greedy, though. Now, once again, is this a very cynical worldview? Probably, but it seems to, like, be true most of the time, which is kind of sad. Another thing that was interesting is somebody burnt down a data center somewhere in the Netherlands at some point, and it, like, fucked up a bunch of websites. Like, I just kept visiting, like, weird little small websites, and like, one of them genuinely had the banner, "Our data center got set on fire, so we can't provide our service right now." Our data center was burned. Can't do it. What the fuck are you talking about? So yeah, that sucks. Turns out data centers are being used for more than AI. Weird, right? I thought that was really weird to think about. I do still really disagree with, like, building a bunch of data centers. I think we need to figure out a better way to do AI, if we're gonna do it at all. Because I've always been very interested in machine learning, right? Ever since those, like, Google DeepMind demos where they had, like, a little fucking, like, ostrich or, like, this thing? The, like, crab that they had, like, jump around platforms and stuff. Oh, I love this song. Ever since I saw those, I was always like, that's so cool, I love this stuff. Now, I know that is different from pre-trained transformers and generative pre-trained transformers, etc., etc. But, you know, fundamentally, it's still kind of the same type of thing. Kind of. I'm pretty sure. No. Whatever, don't worry about it. What am I even talking about? I don't know. This has just been a giant string of thought. Can you believe that I've just been yapping for an hour, by the way? I am genuinely capable of this. You do not have to give me any input. I will just continue yapping for an entire hour. There's nothing you can do about it. I feel like if you are the type of person who enjoys to, like, be around somebody in silence, I am just not the right friend for you, because I will literally just, like, bring up shit all the time. When I hang out with Lucy, which I do a lot, it is most of the time just like this. It is me yapping for an hour while she, like, I don't know, is kind of like half disassociated. Check this out, check this out. Oh, that reminds me of this, and this reminds me of that, and that reminds me of this and that, and this. Did you know the world is ending? Isn't that kind of cool? I feel like that's kind of... it's a weird attitude I have, I feel, where... I'm constantly thinking about all these, like... unfairnesses of the universe, I suppose. That what a weird way to put it. But at the same time, it fascinates me more than it terrifies me. You know, all these things are human-created systems. Oh no. Shit sucks, dude. Let's hope it gets better. Have you heard of Mr. Gimmick, the video game? It's really good. Like I said, I've been watching just a bunch of like speedruns and stuff of that game. It's so fun. At least fun to watch, in my opinion. Shout out to Errol L. Or yeah, that is an L, right? Shout out to Errol L, top speedrunner. And I watched one of their streams. I thought it was pretty cool. Yahoo! Well, it's a shame that nobody really seemed to show up today, but I did also just... I don't know. I wonder if anybody would show up for this. It is also just an awkward time on a hot day. I don't need to create excuses. Who knows why there was nobody? I always wonder about that, because sometimes I have streams and there's like 12 concurrent viewers. Okay, that's very rare, but sometimes I'll have like 12 concurrent viewers, sometimes I'll have like 5, and other days nobody shows up. And sometimes nobody shows up for 2 hours, and then in the last 15 minutes somebody shows up and engages with me like a lot. Or whatever. I think probably it's just the time again. As I've said, my after dinner streams tend to do way better. There's a very reasonable, and also I am competing with, I know Bobby Zeal was online just a moment ago, and so I feel like maybe this is a time frame where quite a few streamers are online. It's just Bobby. He has 46, whatever that means. Is that 46 viewers? Jesus. Wait, how many followers does he have? What? 666? Demon numbers. What do I have? I have one. What? Is the retro category just popular or something? How many? Wait, how many followers did I have? I think. Oh, I have like half the followers. Okay. Yeah, who knows? Still impressed. I am impressed. Maybe I too should start streaming Worms. Well, what is it? By all technicality, sorry. By all technicality, I mentioned this at the start of the stream. Like I said, it's Thursday. Thursdays are my stream day. And I succeeded at streaming. That's the thing, like every Thursday I stream for at least 1 hour. And I did that. I did it. I streamed for 1 hour. So, I guess goal achieved. I'm sorry for not, like, actually playing anything. This is definitely a just chatting type stream. Chatting to myself. Terrifying. The power that I hold in terms of talking to brick walls. I should make an illustration of that. You know, like the the guy talking to the brick wall, but then just like with my big brick head. Brick head versus brick wall. Who can talk harder? An unstoppable yap versus an unyappable object. Yeah. Guys, remember to eat and drink. I've been Matthew Moments. I'm not gonna rate anybody because the only person in the audience is me. I would just be rating myself. Or, sorry, I would just be, like, moving myself to somebody else's stream. It doesn't make any sense. Mato-sama rated with a party of 1. That's just me! Yeah, no, I don't think that's anything. Was there anything else I wanted to share? I feel like if I wanted to share something, I would have done it in those 8 hours. Sorry, in that entire hour of yapping that I've done. Why did I say 8 hours? Is this a 9 to 5? 9 to 5 yapping session? Oh, in other news, I might have a job soon, on Saturdays at least, which is nice because I've been wanting to have a part-time job next to my YouTube, or like next to my content creation, so I can actually support myself without having so much pressure to, you know, actually make money off this stuff. And I really sincerely hope, because you've heard me complain about my, like, anxiety about incentives, I suppose. I really hope that when the pressure to make money from YouTube videos goes away a little bit, I'll be a lot more okay with just creating videos that I think would be fun to make, rather than making videos for the sake of hopefully getting numbers. Because if you look at my channel, I have a very chaotic set of things on there. I feel like the ones I like the most are often not the ones that I've watched the most. Maybe it's a marketing problem. I kind of want to see if I can repackage some of my older videos into more marketable versions. Because, for example, I made this one peak video, right, with plushies together, and I feel like I very hastily edited that together in a single evening. Just because, honestly, the reason I made that video, I'm pretty sure, was because I wanted to hang out with plushies. I wanted to hang out with plushies, but he wasn't available. So I was like, I'll just relive this other fun hangout that we had. I'll make a video. That guy is awesome. Shout out to Plushies Likes Pink. And I was like, I want to hang out with that guy, but I miss him. I feel like if I, you know, edited that slightly more, and maybe put in some, like, connective tissue, maybe an intro. I already updated the thumbnail. But if I gave that video slightly more sauce, and actually, like, I don't know. Something that I find very strange is, you know the YouTuber Charborg? So Charborg is a streamer and YouTuber. Well, I suppose he hasn't streamed in like a couple months. But that is a person who I really appreciate in terms of what he makes. And for example, his latest video was a game where he did just like role-playing in this game, and he played as a hamster. And it was awesome. At any rate, this video of me and plushies falling asleep. This video of me and plushies playing Peak together was very similar in a way to that, where I was just like joking around about being a character named Count Mumula. or Count Mamiya. I believe the name switched halfway through the video, which I didn't notice. And I thought that was very charming. I think it's genuinely a video that I really love. But I do feel like I also undercooked it. You know, I didn't put any background music. I didn't put any funny edits. I didn't put any... Like, I feel like with a little bit more love, that video could have been such a good video. And I also just kind of dumped it on the internet. You know, I just kind of went like... The rise and fall of Count Mamiya. The end. Done. I think that I could try out a bunch more different tries. Because I feel like... I don't know. I feel like the original thumbnail for that was very noisy and bad. I think the current thumbnail is a lot better. Perhaps I could also draw or paint a like more nicer caricature of Count Mamiya, because I've been watching these videos where the guy plays horsey game, and the thing about that guy is that his thumbnails are not screenshots from the game, and I think that's a great idea, because a horsey game is and I'll be honest, not a good looking game. Like, not a thumbnail worthy game. I mean, you know, not to say that I don't appreciate the aesthetic of the game. I think the simplicity of it all is exactly what makes it work. You know, if the horses were any less abstract, then you couldn't use backwards hooves to represent like claws on the what centipedes and stuff. You know, so. But even still, it doesn't make for great thumbnails. And so I think the fact that this guy just makes illustrations of like extremely scary horses and puts those as the thumbnail instead of putting actual screenshots from the game as a thumbnail, I think that's genius. And I think if I can achieve a similar energy for my Count Mamiya video, if I remake it, then I think that would be great. Another thing I've been doing, and I'm a bit ashamed to admit it, but on my Matthew Moments channel, I had a experiment where I had an AI edit some of my videos, like some of my older videos, live streams. I mean, sorry, I had an AI edit some of my older live streams into videos, and they did no numbers. So I kind of quit at it. Yeah. It also just made me feel sad, because while I don't like editing, I don't like video editing that much, I also don't like outsourcing my work to AI. But also, on another note, you know, what? It feels kind of like why not have a machine shovel rocks into your butt, which is painful and inconvenient, but also... No. Why not have an AI edit your videos if you don't like editing your videos and you don't have the money to actually pay an editor? You know? Why not do it that way? Why turn down free labor as a small creator? Not like I was gonna hire an actual editor. I don't have money for that shit. I mean, I might soon if I actually, you know, get that job. Honestly, I wouldn't mind, like, I don't know, $50 for an hour of footage edited. I think that's, like, relatively standard rate. Yeah, I could do that. Especially if I make more than that back, which I currently don't. Like I said, maybe I need to invest first, and then... I don't know how that works. Maybe, you know, maybe I can ask somebody like Jalen or somebody else from the Mushy Polter community if they want to like volunteer edit my videos or like make a fan video. They can even put it on their own channel as long, you know, as long as it results in exposure for me. I don't really care if it's on their channel or my channel or anywhere else. This is like, you know, it's like how I watch a lot of Jerma clip videos, and it doesn't matter if they're on Jerma's channel or if they're on like somebody else's channel. I know that it's Jerma, you know. I suppose, you know, now that I think about it, I consume like no official Jerma content. I don't think Jerma has seen a single cent from the fact that I like him. But I don't think that's important either, because the thing about social media is that it's like gains in numbers, you know. If I watch an ad on a video by, let's say, Jerma in this case, if I watch an ad on Jerma's video, he gets like, I don't know, maybe 1/100th of a cent. Like, you know, those 5 seconds that I sit there and watch a video. I mean, what is it? The way you measure how much you make from videos is like dollars per million, you know? Like how millions views for it, of Mads watching. I also think that if you actually calculate it, the amount of like man hours wasted versus a revenue like gained is very small. So if you ask me, and if you are a creator, I don't think you should focus on the ad revenue. I think ad revenue after the adpocalypse in 2015, was it 2015? It was somewhere around that time. After the adpocalypse, it is no longer a advertisement game anymore. It's, you know, merchandise. It's mostly merchandise. Also, like, you know, products, and also sponsors. Which is especially sad because everybody knows that all YouTube sponsors are scams. Don't let any sponsors that want to sponsor me hear this. But they really all are. every YouTube ad is some form of like, I mean, not all of them. I mean, look at what is it, like a lot of like meal delivery kits and stuff are actually fine. And I feel like loot boxes used to be a thing, and well, I mean, it is kind of weird in my opinion to buy something that you don't know what you're getting, but it's not illegal. You know, and blind boxes and stuff like that have only become more popular over time, so I think that's relatively fine. I mean, Raycon is like earbuds. I don't know how you can make earbuds evil. I'm sure they somehow did it, but so that would be fine with that. Most video games, you know, Raid Shadow Legends. I don't see any harm in promoting Raid Shadow Legends. I think that it is, you know, it's just a mobile game. People know the risks of mobile games right now, by now, you know, of how, like, habit forming and yada yada. I don't think people ought to be all that, like, afraid of advertising, that sort of thing. But it is true that a lot of, like, Honey, for example, how Honey was, like, a massive scandal because, and honestly, you know, what they were doing, I believe, is still illegal, you know, it's the last person who has the affiliate cookie gets it, and Honey just injects the affiliate cookie and also lie about what the best coupons are so that the platforms can be reassured that people will not look for coupons, which is kind of the exact opposite of what they should be doing. But Google did something very similar where they like purposefully made search results worse so people spent more time on the search page so they would look at more ads. It's really sad. Blah. What was I even talking about it for? Oh, yeah, so either way, I would focus, if I were you and I was like a large creator, I would focus on doing merchandising as fast as possible. Or like, at all. Just do merchandising. I don't know, release like phone wallpapers or like, Fuck, who knows? I don't know. If you have like at all a brand style, then you can probably figure something out. Sweaters, t-shirts, those are like really popular. Mugs, you know the works. Because like only a fraction of your audience will obviously actually buy something to represent how they like you, but that it's like mobile games again. Weirdly, being a content creator is very similar to being a mobile game developer or like a MOBA developer, where you have to have all these free-to-use player or like free-to-play players, and you don't make any money off those free-to-play players, and then you have a couple whales, but you need those million like free-to-play players in order to attract those whales that make the entire thing possible, you know. Because like the majority of your revenue comes from like a handful of super fans, typically. That and obviously sponsorships and etc. etc. Ad revenue probably helps if you have like, you know, 100,000 views per video, and it also helps if you upload more videos. I've realized this as well, where I put a lot of effort into one video, but if I could put a lot less effort into a lot more videos, then I would still make a lot more money. I think Video Game Donkey pointed this out at some point in one of his videos. I don't remember what video that was, which video that was, but I remember Video Game Donkey pointed it out at some point. I've been trying to wrap up this like live stream for like age now. I cannot stop yapping. But Video Game Donkey mentioned this at some point in his in a video, that despite the fact that his videos are very popular, he can never keep up with people who do daily uploads, because it's just like, you know, if you upload 100 videos that get 10 views, you know, that's still better than if you upload one video that gets less than 1,000 views. That was really hard to math in my head, but I think you understand what I mean. Wait, 10,000? Yeah, no, then you just get 10,000. No. No. 10 times 100 is 1,000. Yes. Yes. Because 10 times 1,000 is 10,000. Because duh. Local streamer is stupid. No, I did math it correctly. Anyway, point is, you know, and it's something. It's really something. If you can do daily uploads, I think daily uploads are really the way to go. But I don't think, you know, one person can record and edit. I mean, I saw a interview with Stampy Longhead. I believe that's Stampy Longnose, Stampy Longhead. I don't remember what that channel is named. Funnily enough, I watched Stampy's Terraria playthrough, but that was the only time I actually watched Stampy growing up. So I kind of missed out on this whole childhood icon, weirdly enough. But when it comes to Stampy, he said that he had a period where he uploaded and edited every single day, where he would like eat dry cereal as breakfast and sit behind his computer so he could edit and eat at the same time. Be more efficient, I guess. And that was just all that he did. And I guess, you know, when you're young, you have the time to do that sort of stuff. Yeah, but he also said that that was completely how do you say, that you can't do that forever. Because you'll just burn the shit out of yourself. You'll burn like super out. You'll like super burn out. Like after a year or a month or whatever of doing that. And it's this like weird gold digging mentality. Not like gold digger as in like marrying a old rich guy, but gold digging as in like digging for gold, like prospecting. Where it's like you're putting in a lot of effort to maybe get a lot of, you know, money. But even then, I don't think it's realistic assume that you can go viral. You can't be Fred anymore. There is so much more competition. Not only that, but the competition is large companies and like media conglomerates and stuff. Like, even if you look at Smosh or you look at like Game Grumps, those are no longer like two dudes on a couch. Those are companies, you know, with budgets and offices and like employees and a rotating cast of different people. I'm pretty sure Smosh, I'm pretty sure like, what are their names again? Ian and... at least, but the point is, I don't even think that the two main guys from Smosh are even in Smosh anymore. I'm not even sure that that is the case. No, Dan is the guy from Game Grumps. God knows. But the same for Cinemassacre. You know, the people who do Angry Video Game Nerd also like grew into Collective. I believe it's still kind of small actually. I watched an episode of like Angry Video Game Nerd recently, and it's fucked up because he apparently he still makes them. So, and it's just the same shit. Like nothing changed. The only thing that really like meaningfully changed is that like, what is his name? That the nerd himself is like much balder than he used to be. His hairline has receded, and that is like the main thing that changed. Okay, I'm like out of breath from yapping so much. It's it felt nice to get like a lot of my thoughts off my chest. I might not keep this video around. I don't really enjoy having my thoughts available publicly on the internet. Even though I don't think I said anything that I would be extremely embarrassed about. Except maybe complaining that Instagram is just Zorn. But the point is... it is true, I don't like it. I don't want it there. Especially because it's like so half-assed. It's like if you wanna look at... Because it's just people that don't know they can go on Google and just like look at actual Zorn. You know, like why else is it like that? It's like when you're 12 and you're like typing big boobies into the YouTube search bar. Okay, anyway, it's been 1 hour and a half. I am feeling lightheaded. I was already not feeling great before I started the stream. I hope you VOD watcher that watches this, because once again there was absolutely no live audience. I don't know what happened. But I hope that the VOD watcher who watches this enjoys my insane ramblings for an hour. Put this on while you're cooking or like on the toilet. I don't know what you do. 1.5 hours of Matthew yapping to sleep to. I'll see you later. Oh, I like this song. Aporia from Gimmick. Does this mean we can confirm that this playlist is roughly half an hour long? Who knows? Bye bye.